What's up, everyone? Chris here from MTR Network, and I'm back finally. It's another review. This is the third time I am trying to do this review for Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you notice the background behind me has changed a little bit. Doing a little renovation in the house, trying to pack up, trying to get ready to move, which is kind of why this is the third time I'm trying this video. The audio, I did it yesterday. It was already done late last night after seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp, ready to go. And went and listened to it, got it uploaded, and the audio just messed up because I keep moving my equipment around. Actually, I think my mic is going bad again. I had this Video Rode Mic Pro, and I keep having a problem with the cord. It keeps fucking up. I'm going to get another one for San Diego Comic-Con. But anyway, it's not why you're here. You're here to hear my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. And it's the third movie from Marvel Studios this year, third and final one. And sequel to Ant-Man. And by now you've probably already seen the other reviews, and I'm just going to kind of go through what I originally had in my original review, which is this fucking film is great. It's the perfect tone after seeing Black Panther and Infinity War. It's the movie that, you know, it's just, it's hard to explain, but the tone is just right. Like, with everything going on and shit. I mean, we just had the whole thing about Supreme Court Justice Kennedy retiring. You know, the world can kind of need a little bit of fun, and that's exactly what this film is about. It's fun. I know people hate that whole "it's too much fun" little thing, you know, that they say about Marvel Studios films, and fuck that. Like, what the fuck else you go to a comic book film for? You go to a comic book film to have a dissertation to you? It's like, come on, folks. Like, I don't know. If you like the first Ant-Man, you're gonna like this film. It's one of those few sequels that doesn't really need to improve that much on the original. I mean, again, look, it's 2018, we're doing Ant-Man. An Ant-Man sequel. Like, that's just fucking unheard of. And so the fact that we're even doing Ant-Man in 2018, like, it's already too much. But, you know, the first film was great. And this film basically takes that film and replicates it in a way and then gives you everything you want. Like, I'll go through my list of things here. I had Evangeline Lilly. Obviously, it's a big role for her. She was in the first film. She never suited up. And everybody's basically like, she should be the hero of the film. And that's basically what you get in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She, obviously, first female character they've had in the title. And she's badass. She is the badass female character that you thought she would be in the first film. She's even more that. First time you get her fight scene, she takes out a room full of men. It's fucking fantastic. It's great. Her first action scene just does not disappoint. Paul Rudd, perfect casting for Scott Lang. Fits out really well. I don't have her name, but the little girl they have playing his daughter, Cassie, is also really good. And I know Kevin Feige has been talking, you know, hinting at new characters and new ways forward. And, you know, I know that today there was the whole thing about how the antitrust has been cleared for Disney, so they're looking to buying the deal with Fox to go forward. Hey, great. You know, bring home Doom, bring home the Fantastic Four, bring home the X-Men. I'm all for that. But Marvel Studios doesn't need them. And going back to Cassie, as everybody knows, like in the comics, she becomes one of the Young Avengers. She gets her own little set of powers, and this little girl is really, really good. And I think they're definitely setting her up for great things. I think that's going to be great for their, like I said before, the tone shift is just nice from the previous movies we've had. I mean, they've just been so heavy. And I mean, there is serious stuff in Ant-Man and the Wasp. You get the story about why, where Scott was the 2 years between Civil War and now, where he was during Infinity War. You get why he fell out with Hank and Hope and what's going on there. This is a whole thing of Hank and Hope. They're trying to get rescue Janet from this microverse. And that story is kind of like, you know, and even when you bring in the villain, Ghost, Ava, her story's a little bit rough. So, I mean, there are serious elements here, but again, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean, you literally have an ant playing drums, and the explanation for that shit is actually fucking hilarious. It is in the film. It's not just like random film they threw in there. It's in the film. It's funny, hilarious. the thing that works for Marvel Studios, I think so many people don't understand, is that they really do bring the comic pages to life. You're seeing ants help Hank build things, which is straight out of the comic books. It's just, yeah, it's Ant-Man and the Wasp, but it's Ant-Man and the Wasp from the fucking comic books. I mean, it's everything that you would expect from there, and everything they kind of did in the first film. Just, this is gonna sound ironic, but bigger in a way with this film, and it's still kind of amazing that they're able to pull this off and do this. I mean, I know Marvel Studios is fucking amazing, but again, making me care about Ant-Man and the Wasp is just, yeah. I mentioned this before. Hanna John-Kamen is playing Ava as Ghost, and her Marvel Studios is doing this thing where they're making you care about the villain, which I think is, you know, you need that in a film to care about what your villains are doing. But the way they do it here is she's almost not really a villain. She has an end goal. Hank and Janet have it. Hank and Hope have an end goal. Their goals kind of clash, and Ava's not going about it the right way, but you kind of understand why she's so desperate for what she's doing. And I think that's when you make the audience care about your villain, it's great. And once again, you have another villain, female character kicking ass in this film. I mean, I think what Kevin Feige said about having more female characters and having almost half of the characters in the MCU being female, well along the way for that. I brought this up when so I did a quick review on Twitter since I couldn't get the video up. The de-aging techniques they're doing right now, just in films in general, is truly amazing. You get a young Michael Douglas, a young Michelle Pfeiffer, and a young Laurence Fishburne who looks so young, I swear to God, I thought he was going to make somebody eat the cake. Like, it is, at this point, scary what they're doing with de-aging CG in films. Like, Michael Douglas, when you see the scene with Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer, because it's not a spoiler, but getting into the film, they're basically explaining what happened with Janet, and, you know, they kind of told the scene a little bit in the first film, but they really get into it in this film. And when you see them, there's a little bit of an audible gasp from the audience, because it's like, holy shit, that's Michael Douglas. Like, not old Michael Douglas, that's young Michael Douglas. And it's amazing. And I gotta say this, it's still kind of freaky to me that you have people like Michael Douglas. And I think he said that he wants to play more Hank, and he'd even be down for doing a young Hank Pym film, which again, with the CG technology, is just scary to me. You have Michael Douglas wanting to be in not just a comic book film, but an Ant-Man film. And if you were born in the 2000s, I don't think you understand the craziness of that. But anybody who was born before then knows, and watch those terrible films, know that comic book films for the most part were death sentences for your career. You didn't hit them. And yeah, I know Michelle Pfeiffer was in Batman Returns and things like that, but that was not like, highlight of her career. I mean, that's not what that was. You know, and it still wasn't like a career booster things. It just wasn't what people did. It's like you went there because, you know, and again, not saying that Michelle Pfeiffer did this with Ant-Man, but just in general, it was just one of those things that you did because you were out of money. You weren't begging to be in these films. Michael Douglas is begging to be in these films. Like, it is ridiculous. Glenn Close wanted to be in more films. Like, you're getting these actors and actresses who are begging to be in these films because they want to be a part of this and be more and more. And again, we're doing all this for Ant-Man. it's fucking crazy to me. The side casts are all great. Michael Pena is back as Louise, T.I., Walton Goggins. I love Walton Goggins. He's just always playing a bad guy. And he's always, I'm always a fan. I know he shouldn't be typecast, but it's what he does and how he does it is great. There are two, you probably heard two after credit scenes. Try to avoid spoilers, but they do kind of explain where this film fits into the Infinity War timeline. You'll see if you want to know. That's what you're gonna go for. And but yeah, my rating for this film, 8.5 out of 10. I think it's better than the first film. I think it's definitely an improvement. You get more of Evangeline Lilly as suited up as Hope. Her suit is awesome. Her action scenes are awesome. The action is awesome. The story is great. It flows. And I can't wait to talk about this film in spoilers because it does set up for larger things in the MCU. I mean, you talk about Cassie with the Young Avengers, and again, not spoiler with anything, just saying the way they use that character in this film, you can definitely see her eventually at some point being used as a Young Avenger going on. And other characters in this film, what they set up, I mean, Marvel at this point has learned that they can seed their world with more of these characters, and you can go things so much further. And again, with this whole Michaelverse thing and what they're doing with that is this, whatever they called it, there's a lot. I mean, Marvel is the reason, and I'm gonna talk about this in the mailbag, but you know, WB saying that we finally know what we're doing wrong. We need to make good films, and that, I mean, it's fucking stupid and obvious. But the other thing too with that is, these films are based on comic books. If you do what they do in comic books on screen, for the most part, people are going to enjoy and like it. That's all you got to fucking do. And that's what they're doing here with the MCU. And they're on a hot streak right now. I don't think there has been a miss in Phase 3. That is a pretty amazing hot streak when you consider that they've gone to 3 movies a year now. What can I say? So, anyway, that is my review for Ant-Man and the Wasp. We will be back. I don't know when the next review we're doing. I know we do have more reviews coming out on the podcast, movie trailer reviews. Subscribe there. We'll have our Uncle Drew review because Phenom did go to see that. And I'm going to try. We didn't get a screener for Sicario 2, but I'm going to go try to see that this weekend. And maybe I'll get a review for that. So, yeah. Yeah, make sure, so again, like I said, subscribe to the podcast, movie trailer reviews, or just go to mtrnetwork.net. There's plenty of other podcasts there that you're going to want to subscribe to and listen to. So, yeah, folks, Ant-Man and the Wasp, go see it. So, again, thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.